14 pupils have now been confirmed dead following a scholar transport collision in Vanderbijlpark. That's in Gauteng. Authorities are in the process now of formally identifying those who've died, while several injured learners remain in hospital receiving medical care. Investigations into the cause of this crash are still ongoing. Watching the story for us once again is SABC News reporter Thabiso Radebe, who joins us now live from a school in Vanderbijlpark in Gauteng. And Thabiso, help us locate why that institution is important as, of course, the country really comes to terms with what happened.
Yes, good morning to you. We're coming to you live from Hoer School, Vanderbijl, where the Department of Education is expected to address us on this particular incident that happened yesterday in the Golden Highway. We know that the number is about 14 of children who passed on following the death of another one in hospital.
As we jointly speak to you,
we are obviously going to be addressed by Steve Mabona from the Department of Education.
There might be changes to the death toll.
No, thanks very much. We just want to update the public and the nation at large. The number of learners that passed on, it's 12. We might have released different numbers, but we can confirm that the number of learners that passed on, it's 12. And out of the 12, we have one child that is unidentified. We're still trying to make sure that we identify, working with the families. There's one child that we are finalizing that process so that the families identify that child. In terms of the schools that are affected here, we have Hoer School, Vanderbijlpark, 2 learners from here. Val High, we have 1. Oakwood, we have 1. Val Triangle Primary, we have 1. Oliver Lodge Primary, we've got 1. Northwood, 1. El-Shaddai is an independent school, we have 4. And then that 12th one, which is unidentified. Currently, at the medical facilities, we have 3 learners. One was airlifted to a private facility because the situation there was quite dire, so the family decided to airlift that child to a private hospital. So we have started with the process of psycho support. The school has been taken through the process. Actually, we have sent the psycho support to all the schools that are affected. The only one is the unidentified one. We're not sure where that child is from, but we are finalizing that process. As soon as we have that, we should be in a position to make necessary announcements. Today, the MEC will be visiting the families, and we should be in a position to understand on the situation in the families. We are giving them time now because they are still busy with the government mortuary, finalizing the processes, and we probably effectively from 12, we should be in a position to then interact with those families, with the MEC. But later at 3 o'clock this afternoon, the Premier and all affected MECs will be then briefing the nation on the latest developments as far as all what entails in this tragic incident.
Steve, just to clarify, you're talking about the death toll and you're speaking about a person or a child that is currently unidentified. Is that a child having passed on or in hospital? And just confirm the death toll for us again.
Those that passed on, it's 12. And we have 1 unidentified child. well, we are still trying to get those families that might have, lost, or they have a child that is missing. So the government mortuary is busy assisting all the parents to make sure that they finalize the process, and also the one that is identified. We are actually hopeful that the family will identify positively, so that we then know on how we're going to be moving on in terms of the closure on this matter from the family perspective. You might have seen at the, yesterday on that active scene, some, family members and some community wanting to go closer to their loved ones. And that might have been a challenge for the authorities, because we're reporting different numbers because of the unconfirmed reports. You would have seen that later we then had to, add the numbers, because it turned out that one child was found on the scene but underneath the car. So that's why it's important for members of the community, even if we are grieving, but we need to understand that an active scene must be respected. We understand the emotions. We need to make sure that we understand when authorities are busy on the scene. We need to give them space so that they do what they can do best, and then later they should be in a position to assist with anything that families will then want to ascertain.
Let's talk about, obviously the families are quite devastated, but the sense that you're getting from the schools themselves, how are they coping with all of this, and the support? You've spoken about psychosocial that you're going to be providing to them.
Look, I guess we've already indicated that first thing in the morning we'll be starting at our schools. Our officials are here, but you know that learners will be affected, differently. So we will normally identify those that are closer to the deceased, meaning the classmates and the educators that would have taught these children, bring them closer, as the teams are in all the schools, and start with that process of psycho support. And then we'll monitor it. I mean, if there's a need for that process to continue at the school level or at the family level, because we sometimes offer this service to the families. Some will say we are not ready for it now, come probably at a later stage, and we will then give them that opportunity to probably give them that support. So that's what we are doing currently.
And Dr. Mabona, thank you very much for your time. What have you found? Let's speak about the driver. We understand that allegedly we had 18 people inside this particular minibus taxi. And also there are allegations that this person doesn't have a license. What have you found? I know that you've been working with police in this regard.
No, we will be wary of entering into the police matters. But what we know is that the driver was discharged last night, and we understand that it's been processed by the police. That's the list that we can give you. Any other thing, I think the police will also be invited in the media briefing this afternoon. Community safety should be here as well. Department of Transport, as the sister department that's responsible for transportation, they should be present at that media briefing. They should then be in a position to provide more information as far as the scholar transport, be it private, when coming to the public one, the department will be represented. We should be in a position to give more as far as the public scholar transport that we are managing.
And in regards to the learners that have been injured, how many are still in hospital and how many have been discharged?
We have 3 learners that are still in hospital. Out of the 3, we have 1 that has been airlifted to a private medical center because of the family decision. And then we have 2 in our public hospital. And then we have 1 that has been discharged already. So yesterday already that child has been discharged. So we can account for 3 now in our space and in the private centers.
And perhaps just in the school that you're currently in, which is the Vanderbijlpark School, perhaps just give us an indication, what grades were these 2 learners from?
Look, that's why I've just announced the number without going into grades. We should be in a position at the later stage provide you with grades, but also we are hopeful that after interacting with the families, with the MEC, they will grant us permission to publicize the names, because we need to talk about people identified, they have names, and they must be celebrated, accordingly. You might have seen that board people and people who I don't know how to classify them. We are grieving. They are generating posters utilizing AI. Meanwhile, families are grieving. You are giving a different picture altogether, circulating graphics that are not accurate. You are using AI just for probably social media or for content reasons. We don't know what are the reasons, but really, it's unfortunate that some people will just sit somewhere in a corner and produce such graphics, which I don't know what relevance that will that be. I mean, we have families that are grieving. The least that we can do, we need to support all those families, make sure that we give them respect that they deserve during this difficult time. So we will be engaging the families. If they give us permission to, announce the names, we will do that, and the pictures, which will then be assisting so that the public can see how those children look like, unlike people generating AI graphics.
And just in terms of the immediate action, Steve, of course, it's quite worrying that there are issues around scholar transport, and this is not the first accident. Has there been any immediate action that has been taken? Are there meetings? What is happening currently?
Look, because this occurred on yesterday, there should be those engagements. Community safety was present yesterday, the scene. Department of Transport later, they issued some statement. So we are working together as the Gauteng government. That's why the Premier will then be updating, in the afternoon after we have collated everything. So we should be in a position to then paint a picture which will be saying what is it that we're going to be doing from different stakeholders and departments that are affected in this.
Thank you very much.
Steve Mabona from the Department of Education addressing us about their visit to this particular school to negotiate processes to be taken forward in terms of assisting the learners here, assisting the educators. We've been to the El-Shaddai Christian School in the morning. We've heard that the students, or rather the learners, cannot cope, especially after losing some of their classmates there at that particular accident that happened yesterday. We've heard that the Premier is going to be here today, so we are following that the processes that the government is currently doing to sort of assist the learners and also and educators while the investigations, police investigations, continuing regarding this particular accident.